Welcome to Best Threesome Ever, a podcast discussing all things revolving around nerdy pop culture. Probably not what you were expecting, but it's just as fun. Now here are your hosts, Nick, Rob, and Kevin.
Remember that time you were going to bring us stuff?
Fuck! It's on my nightstand!
I'm guessing you don't have it.
I'm gonna fucking drink this. I just want you inside me, doctor.
All right, here we go. Best Threesome Ever, episode 128, brought to you by Heroic Goods and Games and Jaybird Wines. I, of course, am Nick.
That's Nick. I'm Rob.
That's Rob. I'm Kevin.
That's Kevin. I'm Nick.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Jesus Christ.
Full circle. Jerk. Oh, what? That was weird. Just right off the bat, kids. Right off the bat.
Here we go. Gonna be in for another sassy one.
Do we expect any different from this group? I mean, really?
I don't even have any whiskey for this Mountain Dew.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, that's why Mountain Dew was invented.
Yeah, I know. I did actually know that one.
Yeah, you would not think it would be good, and Jameson especially,
right?
I feel is the best whiskey to mix with it. But I tried it for the first time just on a whim because I'm like, well, this is going to be terrible, and then it's like a beam of heaven came down on me, and I started calling it my go juice.
Nice.
When I worked at Fest,
I mixed it with bubbly this weekend. It was past weekend. It was pretty good. And then I also discovered that over Christmas, Jameson and eggnog are very good together.
Oh, I believe that.
I've been doing Fireball and eggnog, and it is top marks. Cannot recommend enough.
Right. So if you want Christmas drinks, come. Maybe we'll start doing a recommended nerdy drink list or something.
Oh, that will be a side effect of my my upcoming urgery.
What's that?
Oh, your
I will
alcohol
be
tolerance.
Lightweight. Party for cheap.
Give Kevin the old green, and he'll.
One shot. I'll be like, well, I'm good.
Oh no!
This stuff is so alcoholic.
Is it all alcohol? Is there anything in there that's not? Alcohol?
I tend to make a mixed drink out of it using like lemonade or something like that. Okay. But like the jug I was carrying around was just pure green.
Yeah. So for listeners that are not familiar, Kevin has a specialty drink that he made for himself called Green. Literally just called Green.
I really want to try and market it one day.
And has not shared the recipe with anybody.
Nope.
Which is absolutely fine. But it is. I can tell you from experience, it is delicious.
I think
it's all sorts
and
of.
For any of you Star Trek fans out there, it is green.
Yep.
I think you told me once that it's like 5 or 6 varieties of alcohol.
Just 3.
It's just 3.
Just 3.
Was that what you were drinking on stage our last show? We had green in your.
You guys were drinking a lot of things on stage during that last show.
Specifically in your shots.
Oh, who remembers?
I don't know. Not me. I know I was drinking Jameson.
I might have been. I think I might have brought it to as kind of a going away hurrah thing.
Gotcha. Speaking of which, my roommate finally gave me the video that he filmed from way in the back. Like, he's like, oh, by the way, I have this. I'm like, oh.
Thank you.
5 years.
3 or 4 years
4
later.
years, but yeah.
So I haven't watched it yet, but I'm sure it'll be fine.
I'm curious to share it with me. I would love to see it.
I will as soon as I put it on my computer.
Yes, it was 4.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
2017.
Nope.
Mm-hmm. 2017.
Like 2020, just like because we didn't have Fest, it sort of like blurs for me.
Yeah.
That's weird.
I felt on one of the Fest pages, I opened the clouds for some people when they were like, "This isn't the 50th year because they skipped a year." I'm like, think of it more like seasons, like a show. And I said it's its 50th season, which makes sense because if you skip a season, it doesn't fucking matter. Well, but 50th season,
and we call them seasons anyway.
We do because we're theater people.
Well, but it's on the marketing.
Is it? I thought it just says 50th year.
No, it's 20. Well, in the past, it said like 2018 season or 2019 season.
Season, right? But it doesn't refer to how many seasons it's been open.
No, that's true. It doesn't refer to like 50th season.
Right.
They call it the 50th anniversary year.
So I was trying to help some people out.
Yeah, no, but I feel like in the marketing they've used the term season a couple times. I don't know.
Right, 50 years. I've been going to it for close to 40.
33.
Yeah. Consecutively, too. Obviously, except for the one that we missed.
I missed a few years between like 8 and 12 or so.
I was going to say, for me, it's somewhere between 16 and 15 and 19 is where I missed that time.
Yeah, I
was doing bad kid stuff.
I went all the time when I was a kid. It was like our family thing, and then I just kind of continued. And like there are some seasons where I went like only like once because I was some poor college student. But I remember the one time I went with a girlfriend, and like poor college kids that we were, that all we ate were like pickles and like lemonades. And,
sounds right.
Yeah, it was. You're gonna have to expand that one a little bit. It was super tight on me. But yeah, I don't know. Fest is still, I still like it. So yeah, where should we start? Oh, I suppose we start with the big news, which kind of wasn't really a surprise. But Dave Filoni was named as executive creative director for Star Wars, Lucasfilms.
Yep.
It was not surprising. It was very much expected.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like, okay. Like everyone's like, oh, look, he made it. It's like, yeah.
Of course he did.
Yeah, of course he did. Absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, he's proved he has a passion for it. It's his deepest love. He clearly has respect for it, and I think he'll do good things with it.
I think he will too. I think absolutely.
Everybody knows I love the sequel trilogy, despite some of their flaws.
Right.
But I adore them. But I think under Filoni, it would have been a little bit more cohesive of a story.
Yeah, I agree. I definitely agree. And he's brought some great new characters into the universe. I mean, he fucking
Mando is,
but he even wants to keep going with some of the sequel stuff.
Yeah.
Like he's talked about putting Rey into another movie, not centered around her, but
right.
Oh, sure, yeah.
Little guest appearance type thing,
or maybe out. Like a supporting character.
Yeah,
like
I mean, same way the same way Luke comes in and.
Right.
Spoiler alert. Luke comes in and saves the day at the end of Mandalorian. And
did you read the? I don't know if it was a post or something, but it was about Moff Gideon's reaction to Luke.
Oh yeah,
I saw that.
It was super good. It was, and I get it too.
Yeah.
As far as this dude knows, like he, the Emperor, and Vader go into one room together. Only Luke comes out like alive.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Basically, Batman of the Star Wars universe.
Yep. Right. The long story short, if people haven't seen it, it was pretty much a thing saying that Moff Gideon's reaction at the Mandalorian when he recognizes that it's probably Luke who's coming to get them. He's worried for his safety because, like Kevin said, it was as far as Moff Gideon knows. Well, I mean, not what we know because we know the true stories, but as far as Moff Gideon knows, 3 of them were in a room together and only Luke walked out the survivor. So. That's you know how the rumor mill goes.
Imperial boogeyman, John Wick with a lightsaber.
Yeah,
right. He escaped Jabba's sail barge and all this other stuff.
And he's practically an urban legend, is what the post was saying. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. And it changes the very. I'm going to watch it again, but it just changes that whole very end sequence. So,
but like there are tiny little details that I wouldn't mind if he touched base on in projects like. Fucking how somebody got their hands on Luke's saber. Like I think they went into it in a comic book, but I need to see it in some form because the Star Wars comic books are I think a little bit too much for me. Or like how fucking Boba Fett got out of the Sarlacc because all I have right now is a joke.
That he blasted his way out.
Oh, Sarlaxative. I wish you guys could have seen my just deadpan, very serious delivery of that joke.
Nick's going to have to edit out all of this laughing.
No, keep it in.
No, why would I?
God damn it.
No.
I earned that.
That was fucking hilarious. Well, there is a story about how he did get out that he blasted his way out.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I know there was some of the no longer canon books. I read the Mandalorian Wars or whatever it was called.
The comic, yeah. So did I.
The post Jedi ones.
Yeah, what do they call it now? The Legend series, which the non-canon stuff, which I've been reading and doing a lot more research on like Jedi because I don't know, like the whole. I understand where people, I understand where people get the flaw of that Luke was said to be the last Jedi, but like in my mind, it's always been that. Like I explained before, that I apparently for years now, misheard the what Yoda said to him, that last of the Jedi, meaning there's more out there. They're just not necessarily Jedi, but they are definitely more out there. So like when the purge happened, that clearly there had to be some that did survive because there's no way that they killed them all because in the Legend storyline, Vader literally went out after that and hunted Jedi, and that was the storyline. So I had always assumed that there were more Jedi because the story said that that's what Vader did. Him and I don't think they were called Inquisitors at the time, but
now they are.
Now they are.
Which also brings up the fact that with all the new projects, they just keep squeezing new Jedi that were somehow alive during the original trilogy. They'll just stay the fuck out of it because we got theoretically Cal now. We got fucking that little twerp. Ezra Bridger.
Yep.
I guess in theory we have Mace Windu because there's now the rumor mill that they're going to try and squeeze him in somehow.
I'm not going to lie, I would be mad if
I would be super mad.
That's like just kill him off. I mean, he had a great ending. He had a good story. Great Jedi. I don't like the fact that he was defeated so easily, being as powerful as they said he was.
And that's what they're going with. Like, well, he was out the window, but he's powerful Jedi.
Yeah. As much as I love Mace Windu, no. Sorry.
I'm going to take a little from a different movie here. But Mace Windu, he died like a bitch. Because he did.
Mace Windu.
Mace Windu.
That's what you called him.
That's what you just said.
I thought it was on purpose.
I did too.
Well, yeah, because he goes through a window.
Yeah.
So Mace Windu.
Yeah. Mace Windu. Yeah, like it.
I did not do it on purpose. I didn't realize.
Although, again, another lightsaber that somebody probably could have found somewhere because it flew out the window as well.
Yeah,
so.
and that's and that was what I would have loved to have seen is not Luke's blue one, which looked very much lost to the universe. I would have liked to have seen his green one. I would have liked to seen Obi-Wan's, which was left on the fucking Death Star, and you know that Darth Vader wasn't just going to fucking keep that thing lying there on the floor. It was yoink.
Yeah. Keep it with his trophy.
This is going to the trophy room.
Mine.
Yeah, or maybe it's in that room that Rey found, and then she just walked by it and fucking forgot it.
I like the idea that he turns it on, goes back to his castle, and just plunges it in a rock face near where he fucking ate shit. As just sort of an ultimate fuck you to Obi-Wan, that just like he puts it in like a sword in the stone type thing next to like
Wasn't
on that
also
hill.
in Coder 2?
Was it?
I think so.
Oh.
Yeah, when your character is before the game starts, your character is kicked out of the Jedi Order, and they take their lightsaber and they plunge it to a wall or a bit of rock or something like that.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And this all of my research spawned off of this unaired cut scene from episode 2 where Obi-Wan goes to the library looking for whatever and talks to the Jedi librarian, and I can't remember her name for the life of me, but he's standing in front of a statue, and as canon goes, all those statues are the Lost 20, which are the Lost 20 Jedi who left the Order, one of them being Count Dooku, and he's standing in front of Count Dooku's bust, and they have a very great conversation about how she really admired Count Dooku, and Count Dooku was actually a really, really good Jedi and really well-respected Jedi.
Jocasta knew.
Thank you. Jocasta knew, and speaking about how Count Dooku was very well-respected and really didn't like what the Jedi Order was doing to the Order, that the Council was doing, because he felt like they were making them into something that they're not, and kind of playing into that whole, like, we're going to ignore some things, and then that led into this whole...
and I mean, he has a point, but then, you sort of undo all of your... undo all of your credibility when you become a warlord.
Right, exactly. But then, now obviously Dooku was Qui-Gon Jinn's master, or Qui-Gon Jinn was his Padawan, and so that's why Qui-Gon Jinn was never on the council, because he kind of didn't like what they were doing as well and kind of fought them. And he didn't want to be on their council. But then it led into a whole other thing about that the temple is actually on top of an old Sith place, and that the evil spirits, and that evil spirit of the Sith being there and them building the temple on top of it clouded their vision. Anyways,
You're
big long
evil
thing.
spirit.
Sometimes I'm bantering on, but anyway, so Dave Filoni.
I would call that all related.
Yeah. Yeah, it's all related.
I mean, it was still tangents of drink, but I don't think we broke away from the point.
Right.
But we didn't achieve the ultimate goal of sticking on one topic for more than 10 minutes.
It's a true story. Although, which is another thing I liked about Dave Filoni, speaking of Dave Filoni, because with Bad Batch, since he's the executive director and creator of Bad Batch, he brought in a character from Mandalorian in the most recent episode, which I thought was really fun. you get to see a little bit more of a character I think we all liked.
Fennec. Mulan.
Mulan.
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it was kind of fun to see her. Although are you getting kind of not bored with Bad Batch, but like it's just like we've seen this storyline before and just about any.
I am thoroughly at my brim with prequel material.
Yeah,
Sure.
We've seen everything there is to see between episodes 1 and 4. Mm-hmm. As a matter of fact, I take that back. There is one thing they've never touched base on, and that is Anakin's Padawan adventures.
I was just going to say.
We saw almost nothing of him from boy to adulthood.
it's true.
And that I feel would be way more fun to touch base on.
Right, and then
I should say from between 2 and 4, we've seen everything there is to see.
I agree.
Let's go. I'm digging this between 6 and 7 stuff, and I want to see some post 9 stuff.
Yep.
Right.
And then up until we get the High Republic or whatever they're calling it.
Right. Well, and then obviously with the introduction of probably, most likely, definitely Thrawn and maybe another Jedi, fallen Jedi in the storyline. I doubt they'll put him in because they've taken bits and pieces of the Legend storyline and have brought it back into canon. But I doubt they'll bring in the Thrawn's advisor, who was a big, powerful Jedi. Whose name I can't remember, but he was on the cover of the book. He was a big, gray, bearded, Moses-looking dude putting his hands out.
Oh yeah, I remember him.
He was Thrawn's advisor. He was a great Jedi. Anyways, so Dave Filoni. Just kidding. Yes, Rob.
Nope.
Oh, yeah. No. Going once, going twice.
Okay, fine. This is going to maybe ruin our friendship.
You didn't read any of the books.
No, it's not. Well, no, I haven't, but that's besides the point.
Okay.
That's not what I'm getting at.
Gotcha.
Grey Jedi's in the Legend stuff, right?
No.
Grey Jedi, so then...
That's more of a newer thing that was kind of brought about with Mace because of... So they did...
So it's not even technically canon.
There are no canon Grey Jedi. The closest we've gotten is Qui-Gon Jinn.
Okay.
Yeah, and then sort of Mace Windu, because when it kind of came about was when... So obviously they have all these Jedis and all this stuff, and now they have to figure out these cool fighting forms and why they all have different fighting forms. So they develop these 7 fighting forms.
And I think that's forced headcanon.
Absolutely.
I don't... There is nothing gray about Mace Windu. He's a Jedi Master for the Order. He is a Jedi. He is light side Jedi. Qui-Gon Jinn was grayish because he had the whole Dooku.
Right.
Oh, you don't always have to do what they tell you.
Yeah.
Well, the only reason I say Mace,
and then Rey.
Yeah, definitely Rey. The only reason I say Mace is because of the fact that he obviously
And then Finn.
part of the the fighting form that he has refers to going to some Sith training and doing some Sith things and believing in Sith, using part of that as your fighting form, which is it's called Vapad and all this stuff, and it's like channeling your, So part of that is like that. Part of it is gray, and that's why I kind of say Mace. But I agree with you. Yes, Qui-Gon would be the closest.
There was one instance of a Grey Jedi who was brought up by name as a Grey Jedi outside of just like books. And taking it back to this, KOTOR 2.
Okay.
You meet sort of a hermit Jedi, and he is like, I am in between. I am...
Okay.
And like his like... Because, you do good acts and evil acts throughout the game as you see fit.
Yep.
But you're not able to raise his morality above or below neutral. He's
Okay.
always gray.
Okay.
Right, and then I guess another close one would be Quinlan Voss, maybe, because he was kind of that outspoken, kind of does his own thing.
Who, what now?
Yep.
Quinlan Voss.
I would need to see it. The name sounds
He's
familiar.
the dude. He's got a yellow saber, so you'd probably really like him. Pretty cool dude. He's mentioned a lot in the old canon stuff, comic books mainly. He's got that. He's kind of got like the white. There's a white mark across his face. Supposedly in episode 1 in the background.
Oh yeah.
That dude. Yeah. And then
And I'm mostly seeing his saber is green.
there was a lot of yellow in there as well, depending on where you're.
So
sorry, you had a point about the Great
yeah,
Jedi.
the point I was going to make, and this is the part where
you
and
hook
I
up with Ventress.
Yeah.
This is the point where you and I are going to disagree hard. I honestly think at this point that the Gray Jedi concept is a
Forced headcanon?
Yeah, forced headcanon.
Forced headcanon.
Hey!
Yeah.
All right,
Now
so-
we're going again. What the fuck?
So we're going again, and then, okay, so
If we want to.
I'll summarize real quick. So there's like 5 minutes missing from the recording because it stopped suddenly. But basically, what I was getting at for my concept of Gray Jedi is the idea that everyone likes to pick the concept, just like people who pick Slytherin in their as their Hogwarts house, but or pick out a Hogwarts house. But there's got to be Muggles. And, like, not all of you are going to be Jedi. And not all of you are going to be Gray Jedi. And it comes back to my personal feelings on American exceptionalism. And the idea that, like, everyone can be their own special sort of cool. Which, that's absolutely true. It's just... your special sort of cool comes from the perceptions of people around you, not your personal perception of you. I think you're super cool, Nick, because you have all of this really smart tech knowledge that I don't think you have a ton of tech knowledge, but I don't think that's going to be something that you pick out as something that makes you cool.
I guess.
And I think you're cool because you have all of this very cool tactical knowledge about...
tactical stuff?
well, there's... yeah. But, like, you have things about...
That's me. Keep going. Sorry.
you have things about you that make you cool that maybe you don't necessarily see, but the rest of us do.
Okay.
And so, like, at the end of the day, I feel like Gray Jedi is an example of American exceptionalism, and I don't think it's fair.
So if the Slytherin are bad guys, but they're taught at Hogwarts, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But they're all dicks.
Well, I get that, but I'm just trying to, like... So, well, obviously there are... I mean, like...
They're the frat in Animal House of the rich kids who are just assholes for the sake of being assholes.
Yeah, right. So
that's Slytherin.
Okay. But Slytherin still go on, like, into the wizarding world and do stuff. They're not all bank robbers and...
Yeah, of course.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, there are of course, Slytherins who outgrow their douchey childhoods or say,
Gotcha.
fuck you, mom and dad, to their douchey Slytherin-y parents. And,
Yeah.
I mean, because Slughorn was a Slytherin, and he was a bit of a bastard, but he had a good heart.
Took her 6 books to pick out a character to finally redeem that group, though.
Say that again.
Sorry.
There you go.
Took her, yeah.
No, you're good.
Took her 6 books to write a character that was decent in the Slytherin house, though.
Yeah. But there's an expansive universe out there that you could... I think that's why I think people just wanted to expand out of between, like, don't make me choose between good or bad. And so that's why I think the fan base created kind of the Great Jedi, because it's like, I kind of want to be both.
Because that's people.
Yeah, that's people.
That's because that's people. And it's like, but the Jedi are, they're flawed as well, and they can be flawed. They're not perfect, and you can still be a Jedi. You don't have to be the greatest Jedi that ever lived, but, you can still be a Jedi.
There was a Jedi librarian.
There was, but she was a pretty badass person back in her day. And she put up a pretty good fight at the end, and there's rumors that she may have survived the... Again,
No, she's dead.
She's dead. They're all dead.
The only reason they said that she may be alive is because she tried to get some kids out and got some kids out. But the funny part is that a lot of the people that did escape the Order 66 were eventually hunted down and killed by Vader and his Inquisitors. Which I think is funny because they're like, oh, these great Jedi, but they were killed by Vader and his Inquisitors? Okay, cool.
I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if she was the one who got Grogu out.
Yeah, that would make sense.
Yeah, that would make sense.
But then she died.
But then she died, yeah.
Yep.
I just think she was hunted down by Vader eventually.
I still believe that that Grogu was hidden in R2.
I love that.
Well, that's my theory, because of there seemed to be that was the thing that made Grogu turn around, was R2D2's beeps and whoops, and to me it looked like there was recognition, but
Right.
I think we've talked about this.
Or maybe R2 saved him.
So Dave Filoni.
Yep.
All right, so
Well, moving on from that, what's next on the list?
on from that. Speaking of people who have
Ripped to that original slice of conversation.
right.
Right.
So apparently Kevin Smith is doing a Masters of the Universe called Revelations, a new 2-part series on Netflix coming up.
Oh, the
July.
He-Man series.
Yeah, Masters of the Universe. Yeah,
And
I think we've
it's
talked
a
about it.
continuation of the original.
right.
Which makes me a little sad, because that means it can't cross over with She-Ra, but I'll live, I guess.
Wasn't She-Ra part of the original? I mean, it was.
Yeah,
they
but I'm talking about the
crossover.
new She-Ra show.
The new
gotcha.
She-Ra show has nothing to do with the old one. It's a reboot completely, so they
never watched
can't cross over with.
pretty
Well,
good.
maybe they still could, but it'd be weird.
It would be weird.
Not back in the day, I never watched She-Ra, but I didn't know that they crossed over because they were supposed to be siblings or something. I don't remember.
Were they siblings?
Maybe
The
not.
whole time I thought they were bumping uglies.
Maybe I don't know.
Is
I know
it
that
the
they.
new She-Ra show hella gay?
So gay.
Okay.
It's the gayest.
That's what I
love
thought.
it.
I always thought Tila was into women.
I do not remember enough about any of the original He-Man. I don't remember a single full episode plot line. I remember visual snippets that kind of
Same.
enter my brain, but I couldn't tell you most of the characters. He-Man was never huge for me. Neither was G.I. Joe, really.
Joe and He-Man were my
Transformers I loved.
Yep.
Ninja Turtles I loved.
GoBots.
and unfortunately,
Mask.
I think I came up in the generation just after you guys, so
did.
I've got
You did.
Animaniacs, Tiny Toons,
And that was me too.
DuckTales.
Because I'm kind of the
Yeah,
the
you're
link
the
between
bridge.
the two of you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I like those too. I just at that point it was that was kind of the end of my not childhood, but kind of end of going into that stuff.
Yeah.
I don't know what the end of what it would be called, but I do remember there was
Your
some
formative cartoon years.
right.
That's why I sort of just missed the boat on SpongeBob.
I mean, so did I though. I didn't get into SpongeBob, but then I'm just on that cusp of, oh my god, I hate this term, geriatric millennial.
We don't use it. We use elder millennial in this house.
Elder
where
millennial, yeah.
Eliza coined it, and she was correct.
Yeah. Elder millennial.
I saw another good one, millennial.
Nice.
It's good. But yeah, I'm just on that cusp of elder millennial. So I represent the older side of the mainstream millennial generation.
I feel like we're cutting it into too many sections now.
No, it is too many sections.
You're an
but
elder millennial.
No, I'm a mainstream millennial.
Are you?
I am. Yeah, because it's 80 to 85 is what's considered an elder millennial at this point, and I'm 87. So I had because of who we were as kids, and our position in the world, we were our social status in the world being solidly middle or even just a little bit lower middle class. Everything was a year behind for me.
Gotcha.
So I got a Sega in 1994.
Yeah. It's not that far behind. I mean, I'm just saying, come on. Nothing.
1990.
Yeah.
It's pretty far behind.
Yeah, it's pretty far behind.
Because the Sega came out well before the Super Nintendo.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yep.
And then the PlayStation came out while the Super Nintendo was still towards the end of its prime, but still in its prime.
Yeah. I played an N64 when it came out, but I didn't have an N64 until after the GameCube had come out. So that's what I recognize and identify with the elder millennial section of
Gotcha.
millennials a lot more,
That makes sense.
just because of the way our economic status worked.
That works. That works. Yeah, so there's Masters of the Universe. It's interesting to see. I don't want to go back and watch all those episodes because, well,
I don't either.
I feel like that would be not weird, but I don't think I tried watching Thundercats the old original Thundercats. It's hard to watch.
Some of those early '80s shows are rough, man.
Robotech was rough too, and even I'm like, I loved him as a kid, but I just like I watch him now, and I'm like,
well, the thing is, they pumped them out like just hand over fist, like a candy factory.
I mean, even the original Ninja Turtles, I'm like, oh god, they're all Michelangelo. This sucks.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, they were.
Yep, they're all Michelangelo.
Yep. So Masters of the Universe. Maybe watch it. I don't know. I'll probably watch it. It's Kevin Smith, but
I probably won't.
I'll just see it. It's two parts, 5 episodes apiece.
All right.
I'll probably watch it. And I'm interested enough. I'll just catch up on the original He-Man by watching the shitty Dolph Lundgren movie, followed by the What's Going On video. And so that's all you need.
Well,
that's all you need, baby. Good enough.
What's going on? You can probably just Wikipedia it really.
Oh yeah, I'm sure.
Just do that, and that'd probably be way better than having to watch that Dolph Lundgren Masters of the Universe bullshit.
But I want to because it's bad.
It's so bad.
I'm gonna try and watch it.
But also the What's Going On video.
Oh my god, will I try?
Try, nice. Please try to watch it and let us know how far you get.
If I start watching, I'll probably watch the whole thing. I love really shitty movies. I watched. Why am I blanking on her name? I was just thinking about her. The girl from the first Star Trek movie.
The bald one?
The Indian gal who died way too young.
Yeah, you're the wrong person for a name, but I know who you're talking about.
Yeah. But it was some like
something or other.
It was like a sort of a post-apocalyptic future, but everything is old and kind of sucks sort of movie.
Late 80s.
Oh yeah, and it was bad, and I watched every goddamn second of it because it was like it was an old 80s fantasy movie, so of course it was guns and hot babes were not much at all. Yep. Sometimes
Barbarella,
sometimes nothing, and.
I mean, as far as bad movies go,
shit and blow people's heads off, and it's like PG still.
I was going to say
the 80s were a lawless wasteland.
Yeah, I was going to say, as far as bad movies go, you can't go wrong with finding a bad 80s movie.
Right.
They're still bad. They're just like fabulous in their spectacular amounts of gore and blood and cheesiness.
I kind of don't understand.
Phoenix the Warrior, by the way.
Oh, okay.
What's the name of the movie?
Yep. That should give you a pretty good.
Wow, yeah, all right.
That'll give you a pretty good idea of what this is about.
There's got to be a lot of
weirdly romance cover.
When the cover is a Boris Vallejo, you know you're in for something good.
Was there a lot of titties and stuff in it too?
There, not a lot of titties. There was some titty, but like all the girls at all points were wearing straps and bandoliers as a top and that kind of thing. But
sure.
But no, it was the main guy was just always like in jeans and had bad hair and was just sort of always kind of there but not really, and he tried to act tough but like he had a doughy physique and
yeah, that's why I never understood how Barbarella got so popular because it's very sexual and there's a lot of boobs
and his name was Guy
and a lot of nakedness, but the story sucks. The special effects suck. It's not good. It's not well acted.
To me, that's kind of the fun.
No,
yeah, like that's absolutely the fun of 80s schlock films.
It is, but Barbarella in particular is like very like cult classic popular.
Yeah,
and he was already kind of bald.
Like I get like Toxic Avenger being a cult classic. I get a lot of cult classic movies, but Barbarella myself, I just am like, oh yeah, God, holy, that screams 80s.
Oh yeah, it was.
Yeah.
Speaking of old things that they're trying to redo, so Hocus Pocus 2 has been cast and is going to come out in the fall of 2022 on Disney+.
Is that official? I thought that was still all hearsay.
It is official now.
It's official now. All 3 cast leads are in, they said so on social media.
Yeah, Kathy, Jimmy, Sarah Jessica Parker,
and Bette Midler.
Yep,
all 3 have said they're in, and like they said it on social media, so it's got to be true at this point. And this is one of those moments where I'm being absolutely serious about that because fucking companies are lock that shit down.
Yeah.
So if someone reports it on their social media as like a real thing, that's that's probably gospel.
This was the original Hocus Pocus movie. I remember seeing in theaters with my very first girlfriend, and it turned out to be like her favorite movie.
Cute.
Yeah.
Adorable.
It was fun. I mean, I liked it. I thought it was fun.
I appreciate that of the three of them, Mary like aged the best.
She did.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
She did. With Bette Midler not far behind.
No, yeah, of course.
But 3 laps back, old Sarah Jessica Parker. I that is very mean, and I shouldn't say that. However, I've never liked her.
I like her in 2 movies,
Yeah. What are those?
and that is Hocus Pocus,
Sure.
Flight of the Navigator.
That's a good point. I forgot she's very good in Flight of the Navigator.
Yeah. Flight of the Navigator. What a great movie.
I haven't seen that in a long. Is that on Disney Plus?
It sure is. It was the first thing I watched on Disney Plus. God damn it!
Fucking
I
is.
gotta
The
watch
very
that.
first thing I watched.
I always fast forward when I used to watch it because we had it on tape at home back in the day. I used to always just fast forward to the part where he gets into the ship because the rest of it's kind of like, who cares? Yeah, whatever.
No, that's fair.
I think some of those parts hold up surprisingly well.
Absolutely, they do.
His younger brother has weird, like I should say both kids wear weirdly, uncomfortably like late 70s, early 80s shorts.
Yeah,
Yes, they do.
yeah.
I don't know what we as a culture were thinking, but
Comfort.
but they don't look comfortable.
I don't remember. I know I was. A
Maybe
kid,
that's my own body woes. I don't know.
well, when I was a kid, I think there are photos of me floating around wearing something similar to those things. But fuck, I don't remember if they're comfortable. Probably not.
Dear Nick's mom, we would like photographic evidence of this.
It's probably somewhere.
Please
I
send
don't
it to
think
us.
I wore shorts like that. I just feel like I'm a sneeze away from hanging little mini brain.
Sure.
Well, but boxers weren't popular, so you're wearing whitey tighties, and you don't have to worry about things popping out.
Whitey tighties.
Yeah, buddy. I wasn't wearing like fucking boxer briefs or anything.
No, that's not the
just started
problem I
Oh,
have.
who cares? Who cares?
No. Oh no! I've never heard someone say whitey tighties and not tidy whiteys. That was different.
I'm positive I've said them both.
Have you? Okay.
Whitey
I'm
tighties,
not-
tighty whiteys.
Sorry, I'm not picking on you. I just I was
that's fine.
I got thrown off by it.
Yeah, I didn't start wearing boxers till middle school. Because I discovered the comfort of them much later in life than I should have, and I'm like, why haven't I been wearing these all my life? I'm not going to tell you how to develop that sense of wonderness, but anyways.
I wear boxer briefs. I find them wonderful.
I'm a boxer brief guy.
Yeah.
I like the support with the length. Yeah.
Yeah.
Boxer briefs creep up in my
Really?
nether regions.
See,
You
and
got to
like,
get the good ones. Like,
and that's what boxers do to me. It's too loosey goosey, and I haven't found a pair of boxers that's soft enough for how I like them. They tend to bunch up
get
into
that.
my crotchal region,
Yep.
and then I chafe.
Yeah, no,
Yep.
I get that. No,
I
get that.
chafe.
I get that.
You're welcome for that image, everyone.
The only time that I wear boxer briefs is when we were on stage at the Renaissance Festival
no.
under my kilt because kids.
So the trick with boxer briefs is you can't buy the 8-pack. You have to buy them either individually or in like you have to go at least a step up from the Hanes 8-pack. You got to get a little bit more comfort going. Those are the ones that aren't going to creep up on you.
The
They'll
Gucci
hold.
3-pack.
I mean, yeah, like the or like the
Gucci make
Calvin
those?
Klein 3-pack. Like that's
okay.
not unreasonable.
No, yeah.
But you got to get the kind that just the one that are
Calvin
just a
Klein
step up.
and the Hanes no rides.
Yep. Yep. You got to go a step up from the bargain bin 8-pack.
Gotcha. Maybe I'll try that. Maybe I won't. I don't
Fucking fascinating topic today.
know. People are learning so much about us.
We are
today.
all over the place.
Sure are.
Speaking of other images you may or may not want in your head, so if you want to wash these out of your head, here's some good images. There was recently images from Uncharted released with Tom Holland and Marky Mark. Them doing their movie Uncharted. They look fine.
They look like they're in an Uncharted movie.
Exactly. I mean, that's not revealing anything at all. It's like them walking in the temple or something, and Tom Holland's holding a flashlight. Just very
Looks like he's hiding a frog in his mouth.
right. What did he say the name of the frog was? Mr.
No, he named it, didn't he?
He did. It was on Graham Norton, and he talked about it.
Yeah.
It was a frog that lived in his mouth. Anyways.
But I will say, I did not know you were so limber, sir. Because that was a stretch of a segue.
It was wordy.
Yeah. You got there, and I'm proud of you.
Get there eventually. That's how I roll, dude. I get there eventually. I don't care if anybody else isn't satisfied with it. I'm satisfied with it. Boo.
Title of your sex tape?
Absolutely. So.
I will not be renting that one.
No.
It's just Dave.
Oh, it's Dave.
Oh, that's right, Dave.
That's right.
Dave.
Who's Dave? Dave is the guy that probably lives in my mouth. But we got some. So I don't know anything about Uncharted. Never played the game, but we've kind of talked about it before. And
I played them.
yeah, they're probably okay.
They're Indiana Jones, the video game.
Yeah. All right.
Did very Indiana Jones, very Tomb Raider in play style.
okay.
It's,
Yep.
You know, you explore an area a little bit. You get bogged down by a bunch of enemies. You have to shoot in the fucking face.
Sweet.
Weirdly, most of them are of a not white variety.
Yeah.
Which is why Yahtzee calls it Nathan Drake's ethnic cleansing hour or something like that. It's he makes fun of it really hard. He's like, "Why are there so many non-white enemies? Guys, can we mix this up, please, dear God? It's getting a little racy, and I mean that in every sense of the word."
Yeah.
But and then you find shitty easy puzzles, and you solve the shitty easy puzzles, and then you find another area where you have to mow down more human beings and
Sweet.
make more fatherless children and
Right.
sonless mothers.
What was that game I asked you? Oh, Cyberpunk. You never told me if it was a good gameplay.
I thought I did. It is good. I liked it a lot.
Okay.
It has.
Is this before patches or after patches?
It has its share of glitches, but most of them are funny.
Okay.
You never get the dick one. You never get the
Oh, I
dick
absolutely
falling
did.
out.
Oh, yeah.
You did?
Oh,
Okay.
yeah. My girl had her dick hanging out of her pants constantly.
Nice.
It's fun. It's really enjoyable, especially for the maximum Keanu Reeves you get in your life.
Right. Well, I ended up not buying it because it was like it was pre-owned, so it was cheaper. And then I went up there to ring it up, and he's like, "Oh, I guess this isn't the price." I'm like, "Then why is it on the shelf?" I'm like, "Can you just give it to me?" He's like, "No."
They legally have to.
He was like 14 and didn't know he was by himself, and I just didn't want to argue with some 14-year-old kid, and then I ended up punching him in the face because he didn't know what the fuck he was doing.
Well,
I would have felt bad.
I suggest going back and getting it. I liked it. It does have its share of problems, but the gameplay and the story are more than worth it.
All right. Well, it was like the $57 2-disc version.
Oh, with all the extra bullshit.
Yeah. That was the only one that they had, except for the pre-owned one that I found, and he's like, "Oh, we don't have that one."
And I can kind of tell you where to get some cool stuff once you get it.
All right.
Like the Clippy the gun.
Is it like the talking bullets in Who Framed Roger Rabbit?
Kind of, but he's like Clippy. Hey, I see you're trying to shoot somebody in the face. Would you like me to set an auto target mode so I hit them in the face every time, or do you want to keep it peaceful and go for the knees? Yeah, he's literally Clippy, but a gun, and his name is Handy or something like that.
Awesome.
And then you can get a Batmobile looking car for free.
Nice.
Sweet. All right. If I buy it, I'll let you know. So we got some trailers. We'll start with one that had a little controversy behind it, but Broadway musical brought to movies. Little Dear Evan Hansen. You sound like you might have an opinion, Rob. Go ahead.
I'm all for Broadway actors reprising their roles from stage to screen. I don't usually have a problem with actors who, at this point, are considerably older than the way the character is supposed to be aged. And that's usually just fine. But in this case, the wig they stuck on Ben Platt. It's bad. It's really bad.
Horrible.
Like it's
sure is a wig.
It's
by legal
it's
definition.
So the controversy around it real quick is that people are complaining that Ben Platt has reprised his role as the lead in this movie, and they're saying he's too old to play the part.
Well, he's like 27, 28, playing a 16-year-old, and yes.
Oh, hey, you mean the cast of Glee?
You mean like just about any high school movie ever made?
Yep. Okay, that's exactly right.
Riverdale, 90210.
We are doing better about it, though. We're starting to get him a little, at least in the range of the correct age. But that's not my problem. Isn't that Ben Platt's too old?
No,
my problem is that they styled his wig hair to make it look like, okay, you're on a sitcom from the 90s and we're doing an 80s flashback, and now I guess you're a teenager, even though you're a 35-year-old actor. That's what they did to his hair. Like, it looks bad.
I was laughing at the 90210 reference, and like I just remember, was it The Critic where they pretty much made fun of Jason Priestley for being way too old for that show?
Oh yeah,
and they would like everything.
Luke Perry.
Luke Perry, thank you.
Yeah. Luke Perry is 29.
Smile, like it had all these wrinkles in his face.
I can't remember if it was Mad TV or SNL, but they were doing something about that, and it was like, these are just the kind of problems that an average 15-year-old has, because that's how old I am. Looking deadpan into the camera, 15 years old, then turned around and there was a bald spot. But yeah, I kind of think his wig makes him look a little bit like a frumpy Michael Cera.
Yeah,
and that's not
what you want to be.
No.
Even though Michael Cera was a professional at playing high schoolers in his like 40s.
Yeah,
he's 40, right?
Close, probably close to.
I think he's like 28 or 29.
He's got to be older
32, 33,
34. I would say 34. My final.
I'm going with 32.
I'm looking it up. Hang on.
Here we go. Who's going to win? Drum roll. She could find this faster.
Okay, 1988. He's 32.
Boom.
Woo!
Kevin wins.
Look at that. Huh.
Suck it, Grandma.
Why? Why Graham?
I don't know.
You know, and
He did nothing.
speaking of,
I said Grandma.
he said grandma.
I thought you said Graham.
No,
he said grandma.
No.
Although Graham would have been remotely funnier. But totally weird. I didn't realize that Dear Evan Hansen was about what it is about. I thought it was about something else for some odd reason, and I don't know why I thought that. Don't ask me.
Okay.
I loved how vague that was.
That was. What did you think it was about?
I didn't realize it was a story about something instead of a story about something else. Did you catch my drift?
What did you think it was about?
AIDS.
No. I don't know. For some odd reason, I didn't know that it was about this kid who committed suicide, and then the bully pretty much bullied him. I thought it was about a kid who got bullied, and that was it.
Like just a coming of age tale and empowerment and overcoming.
Right.
Yeah, I get you.
Yeah,
I get you.
But the whole part about the kid committing suicide, and he's got this letter, and the parents think that he wrote the letter to him apologizing for all that shit and all that.
Oh, sure.
I didn't know it was about that. I thought it was about just this kid that got bullied, kind of like a male version of Mean Girls, but a guy that got bullied and then showed them that he was better. I don't know. I missed the part about the kid that committed suicide.
Sure. There are segments of that story that are problematic, but the music is very good.
Yeah, I've heard good things about it.
Exploitation of someone's suicide. It's like it's Heathers, but
I mean, there's a lot to be said about Broadway, and just a lot of times the key to success is a little bit of exploitation, a little bit of problematic.
yeah, that's true.
Yeah,
Or crying out loud, Rent is.
I was gonna say Rent is a perfect example of that.
Avenue Q.
The Avenue Q is. Yeah,
Like that's their shtick.
That's
right.
their like. They do it knowing they're doing it, but yeah.
And sometimes it's to draw attention to it. I mean, like when Rent was written, age was a thing that was not talked about a lot, and this was drawing attention to it. And he wrote it about his friends. And,
Yeah.
So.
But I mean, I think the point that Kevin's getting at is that if that story were written today, it would have been handled differently.
Mm-hmm. Probably.
Yeah.
I don't know.
And actually, I think it might be better.
I don't know if when the story was written.
Probably because I hate Rent a lot.
Well, no, I know.
I thought Dear Evan Hansen was written in the late 2000s.
Yeah, it's a 2015 musical. I'm just saying that the when Rent was written, that worked for the time based on what we were talking about. But if Rent were written today, it would be written from a better perspective.
Oh, I didn't catch that you were talking about Rent. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay, yes, I agree.
All right.
Yes.
I feel the same way about Dear Evan Hansen, too. I feel like maybe we, even in the last 6 years, we would have a different take on that story because it's a little cringy. Because the kid exploits and helps start a movement based on the false premise that he was friends with the kid that committed suicide, when in reality
he was not. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, like I think Kevin said, sometimes you got to be a little bit. Anyways, I'll probably see it. I don't know. I don't know enough about it to speak intelligently about the show. So
the music is very good.
Yeah.
And were the show simply about Evan Hansen's story, I would absolutely love that. But there's also the other part that's a little weird. Anyways, we've talked a lot about that. Sorry.
Did we ever touch base on the other musical that just got a trailer?
In the Heights?
No.
Oh.
What's that?
June 11th, by the way.
West Side Story.
Oh, yeah, West Side Story.
Oh, yeah, it did get a trailer.
It's West Side Story.
Mm-hmm. It looks very West Side Story. I mean, how else can it do West Side Story?
It's just weird that Spielberg's doing it.
Right.
This is a little strange.
Funny story. So I was talking to my brother, and
Is it a funny West Side Story?
it is a funny, actually, East Side Story because he used to live. No, never mind. He lives in New Jersey. He lives in New Jersey. He used to live in
It's
New
a
York.
funny turnpike story.
He used to live in New York. Well, he guess he was in Washington. He lived in Washington Heights, but like literally like 2
It's
blocks.
a different movie.
I know.
Sorry.
But anyways, so remember that I was telling you that he did the soundtrack for Joker, and then there was a couple other movies he didn't fucking remember.
Oh,
what
yeah, this
movies.
was your brother, right?
Right. He didn't remember the other movies. Well, the other one was West Side Story.
That's funny.
That's good.
And the funny part is that he tells me, he goes, yeah, they were kind of upset with us because we couldn't like jazz it up enough, because there's the dance song and there's a couple other songs a little more jazzy. And he goes, well, we're all classic musicians. We're not jazz musicians. I mean, damn, my brother was a jazz musician also, as well as being classically trained. But it's just, he said it was funny that they had to bring in some other people on top of this orchestra that they already had to do it. But the funnier part was that he couldn't remember the fucking musical that he was in. He's like, I don't know, it's one with Spielberg directed. I'm like, well. He's like, it was a musical. What's it? The one with the two sides. I'm like, West Side Story? He's like, yep, that one. And he did some other Amy Adams film that was, I don't know, whatever. Anyways.
Was that Evan Hansen?
No.
She's in that too.
It was like a...
I was just joking.
Right. She was like the lead. It was like just a romantic I don't want to use the word chick flick because I think it's a bad term.
Justice League. Snyder Cut.
No. Okay. Yeah, it was a drama. Anyways. So yeah. So West Side Story. It looks West Side Story. I played Officer Krupke my senior year of high school when we did West Side Story. Shocking, I know.
I was going to say, if we had done that musical, that's probably the part I would have played.
Yeah. I also played Officer Krupke.
Classic.
We didn't play him, although we didn't play him as the normal klutzy.
We've had this conversation.
We have.
Yeah.
We played him as the hard-charging New York City cop. Because Brian Moynihan, who played Lieutenant Schrank, we were both very much the same size, very much the same loud kind of voice, very much the same, same energy on stage, and so we were like, no, they're the badass New York cops, and so I told the director that Officer Krupke would be smoking a stogie during the show. She was like, okay, but don't really light it. I said, okay. I never did.
I was going to ask.
Or did I? I didn't.
Oh, God.
Disenchanted.
Oh.
No. But there's another trailer we should talk about.
Is it Disenchanted?
No, I don't think there's a trailer for that yet.
Oh, there isn't? Okay.
No, I don't think so.
It's the something I know nothing about, but now after watching the trailer, I very much want to know about.
And you immediately went
The Eternals?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know nothing about them, but but obviously very much in the MCU because they very much mention another movie finally that mentions another MCU characters where they're like, well,
yeah, it's the continuation of Phase 4.
Yeah, they're like, oh yeah, Captain America and fucking Iron Man are dead. Who's going to run the Avengers now?
Well, yeah, and that's why I posted the trailer with the the Avengers fighting Thanos and the Eternals' loud popcorn noises.
Yeah.
Right, which stars like half the cast of Game of Thrones.
Game of Thrones.
Yeah. With Richard Marsden and Jon Snow.
Richard Madden.
That's it. Madden. Is it
Richard
Madden?
John Madden.
John Madden?
Gotta get a goal.
And Kit Harington.
Yeah, those two. And Angelina Jolie.
Yep.
I know nothing about the Eternals. Anybody?
A tiny bit, not a lot. I'm not gonna fake and say,
same.
They're part of a.
But the way I understand it, like
they're old gods.
Yeah, the way I understand it is they're old gods who are a step below the Celestials. And they often fight the deviants, which Thanos is technically a deviant.
Basically on par with the upper echelon Asgardians.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So kind of Asgardian Wonder Woman-esque level of power.
Well, but they're also all they're all sort of analogs to classic gods.
Right.
And each one sort of is
Angelina Jolie is Athena.
Is sort of the leader of that culture.
Yeah, gotcha. And they said they from the trailer, the Stark boys like, yeah, we've watched long enough, and now we finally need to get involved. And
that's what's bugging me. I have to know what is happening that finally brings them into the mix when all of this other shit happened. They're like, eh.
Yeah. Thanos snapped away half the universe, and they just sat there and went,
yeah, it kind of pisses
Bummer.
you off at them.
And now they show up. Yeah,
right.
Like I agree with you.
If I was the new Captain America, I'd be like, really now? And oh god, I would love it. I would love. Oh my god, I want it. I want.
What happened? You skipped ahead without telling us what happened in your head.
I know. I want the new Captain America to go off on the Eternals and be like, really now? Now you've decided to show up?
Yeah, that would be good.
We've done all because why can't
and that might happen?
Why can't
Sam Wilson?
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Because he would just it would be the best fucking tee off on anybody ever, and I would it would fill me with joy. Give it to me, Marvel. Give it to me. Give it to me.
Yeah, I think that scene could absolutely happen in a future Avengers film.
God, fuck yeah, I want it. Even if it's in this film a little bit, I would love it because
it won't be.
It won't be. But somebody needs to tell him, like, really now you decided to step in. Really, all this shit's happened, and really, fuck you.
Yeah.
Yeah, the only one I know anything about is, and that's only because I looked them up when I heard there was a few swaps to their character, and that made me interested. And that's that Salma Hayek is playing Ajak, who is a Russian Eternal.
Really?
And I get the feeling she's not going to be Russian in this bad boy.
I have a feeling that is probably true.
I mean, if she is, that's certainly a choice, but you would think she would be like...
it took me a second to figure out why we had a problem with her being Russian.
Salma Hayek.
The Watcher of Death from Mexican lore.
And speaking of that, these people are not to be confused with the actual Watchers from the Marvel universe.
Correct.
No, that's just Jeffrey Wright.
Right. Okay. And Stanley.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Confirmed to be a Watcher.
Which we got another trailer for that too.
The Watchers?
Yeah, a very short one.
Which one is
It's
that?
a minute trailer for What If.
Oh, yeah.
Sorry, not the Watchers.
Oh, that's
What If. Oh, yeah, it's a short 1 minute trailer for the What If animated anthology series. Not much, nothing really, not really any new scenes in it either.
Right.
But the animation style looks good.
Okay.
I'm excited to see it. It's very into the Spider-Verse.
So I noticed that the very hungry caterpillar is trending. The author died.
Oh, Eric Clary?
Carly?
I don't know what you guys are talking about. Is this
Eric Carl.
this related to the Eternals?
No, but it's like I said, it was trending.
Oh. Well, the Eternals looks really good, and I can't wait to see it. I really...
Yeah, it looks good.
Yeah. It does. I'm excited for it.
Probably watch the trailer a couple more times.
Yeah. Speaking of, go ahead.
I was just going to say, I think either there's something wrong with my eyes, or okay, let me phrase it this way: is there something wrong with my eyes, or are all of these trailers getting a very dull palette lately? Like they're all sort of single color, like one sort of overarching palette. Because I felt like the Eternals was very gray.
Well, sometimes
It felt very gray.
just might be that's what they have done, processed, and have filmed so far.
But then I felt the same way about like when we talked about the Cruella trailer, I found it boring. And again, it was that like it was all sort of this one monochromatic.
Maybe they're doing that on purpose.
And maybe they are doing that on purpose. I don't know. Like I'm wondering because it feels like the trailers they're putting out all sort of stick to the same color palette theme.
I mean, that's for a bit that's been going on. I mean, in
Okay.
Eternals, there were so many scenes that were very colorful, especially when it revolved around what looked to be a Latin environment and an Indian environment.
Yeah.
That's true.
But like,
Very warm.
take almost every action poster over the past, I don't know,
Where it
6,
goes from
7
orange
years,
to blue.
where it's
Yeah.
orange and blue with diagonal lines.
Yep.
Pick something else.
Yep.
Right? Or maybe it's just one person making all these posters.
like Mortal Kombat, it made sense because it was the fire and ice thing with Scorpion and Sub-Zero. I'm like, yeah, I get it for that one, but fucking Star Wars and X-Men and fucking
Aladdin was the other one. Yeah.
yeah.
But many more. Fucking, I'm pretty sure
Oh,
the
yeah.
last Bourne movie had one.
Both Infinity War and Endgame as well.
Oh, yeah, they did.
Yep.
Both
They
There's
did
a
the
purple.
orange to blue.
And yes, I understand that orange and blue are complementary colors, but there are other ones.
Green and purple. And
Yeah, the Hulk.
Yeah. Speaking of things that we've seen real quick, if you've seen it, did any of you watch Love, Death, and Robots Season 2?
Yes, all of it.
I did too. Did not like it as much as the first one.
I didn't like it as much as the first one either, but there were some really good ones in there.
Absolutely were.
The geriatrics with the robot with the vacuum, I thought was incredible. Like they did a lot of stuff with Uncanny Valley with the faces for me, but that it didn't take me too much out of it. I thought it was really good.
Yeah, a lot of cliffhangers in this one. Not a lot of resolution from a lot of the stories, and then we get Michael B. Jordan.
Yeah.
I like that one too. I thought that one was fun. What was the other one I really, really liked? Fuck. What was the other one I liked? I don't know.
The tall grass.
The Tall Grass one was kind of weird.
It was basically literally the movie The Tall Grass.
Right. And it was just like all of a sudden they just like don't ask questions.
I liked the children with the people who lived in really tall skyscrapers who were living forever and having children was outlawed. I thought that one was real good.
Yeah, and that reminded me of a show that I was in called The Legacy, which is very much about it's illegal to have children. Yeah, I like that one too. Yeah, but like I said, it was enjoyable and I liked it and I thought the animation was great, but just not as enjoyable as the first season.
And a shitload shorter too. Is there going to be a part 2?
I hope so.
Because that was only like 8 episodes, and the first one was like 18 or some shit.
Yeah, I don't know. Well, that could have been a COVID thing.
I suppose. Fucking COVID.
Yeah, it could have been COVID. But yeah, it's worth watching, I think. And then I don't think Rob, you didn't respond. Did you watch Army of the Dead?
no, I did not.
You're fired. I'm kidding, Rob.
It's fine.
I've fired you a lot, and you're
I
still
know.
here.
I
so
am still here. I keep coming
either you
back.
don't listen, or you just haven't gotten your pink slip in
I
the mail
am
yet.
a cockroach.
It was incredibly stupid and incredibly fun, and I loved it.
I loved it too, and people, much like people bitched about Mortal Kombat to me, they're like, "How did you like this movie?" I'm like, "I liked it because it was exactly what I wanted.
Yeah,
I wanted zombies getting slaughtered, and I got a bank heist movie out of it."
I couldn't believe I had no idea it was going to be a fucking bank heist movie.
I didn't either.
It was Ocean's Undeadin'.
Right. It was if
Ocean's Undeadin', everyone. Are you following these puns?
nope, not at all.
Sorry, what?
This movie was the perfect example that I've always talked about with zombies, like the zombie apocalypse. This was the perfect example of zombie tactical versus tactical. And I had one major problem with it, and that was when they were like, who else hasn't killed zombies? And like two people raised their hand. One of them being the girl who like kicked all ass.
She was
unfucking believable.
She was ridiculous, and that I was like, oh, that poor thing, she's gonna die. And then she lasted so long
for somebody who's quote never killed zombies. I was like, okay, what part of the story are we missing here? Was she full of shit? Was she trying to be funny?
And like it would have made all the sense in the world if she had just been like, I've killed tons of them. Bring it on.
Right. But
she was badass, though.
It was. And then I with a little bit of a heartwarming little ending. Yeah. And I was like, okay.
I had a theory about it that I rewound to verify. And then after I was like, yes, I'm sure of this, I looked it up and it got confirmed.
Oh, yeah? What's that?
So if you don't want weird spoilers for Army of the Dead, I guess cover your ears and go for like 45 seconds. But did you notice the zombies with the blue eyes?
Yes.
The zombie.
Alpha.
No, a lot of them had it.
Okay.
The zombie virus was alien in nature, and and that's what I was thinking because they talked about it at the beginning of the movie how he thinks they were carrying aliens. And that's I'm like they wouldn't have like really done that if it didn't matter,
right?
You know, Chekhov's gun sort of a thing.
Right.
And so when I saw the blue eyes, I'm like, because Logan, Saber's son, was the first one to be like, what, did you guys see that? And I'm like, okay, so I'm gonna keep my eyes out for this shit, and because I wasn't sure if it was like an effect or like like something that wasn't done correctly, or if it was a fluke
right.
But then you start seeing more of them. And I noticed when you saw the alpha, the head that was on his staff, after the movie was done, I had us rewind so I could look at it again. Absolutely an alien face. Like that was an alien head on his staff. It was very triangular, had the big eyes, a kind of pointed mouth, almost no nose.
Well, right. And then, I thought, because they classify them as, there's two kinds. There's the alphas, which are the
fast ones.
The fast ones, and then there's the other ones that are just regular fucking zombies that nobody gives a shit about. So I thought the blue eyes were just like the alphas, because there's only a few of them.
And I believe that's true as well.
But I kind of seen what you were... I thought the same thing when he... again, cover your ears if you don't want any spoilers. But when he took the little thing in his hand and it glowed blue for a second after the person died, that and I was like, why is it glowing? Oh, maybe it's an alien virus. So, yeah, I could. Yep. Yeah, I could believe it. But at that point, I was so invested into the movie invested in the point that this was just a zombie movie with a lot of zombies getting killed in fun ways, except for the fact that dude with the saw. First of all, fucking that. There's no way you've been able to carry all that weight. First of all, second of all, he never used it in the second half. You see him use it at the beginning, which is a very Zombieland-esque sort of thing. Beginning, that is, which I loved, but he never see him use it again, except for that girl who cuts the hole in the wall, and that's it.
Which is too bad because it was cool. I would like to briefly say that I know I shouldn't have, but the zombie sort of queen.
Yeah.
I liked it.
In a weird.
It was a hot zombie.
It was a hot zombie.
Like on a level of 1 to Resident Evil: The Village.
Not quite. She's not Demetrisa. Fucking nobody's mommy milkers. Right. She's the top cryptid right now.
All right.
But no, it was.
Yeah, absolutely.
And she was. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong. She was the blowjob bride from the beginning, right? The carhead one.
Yeah.
Yeah. I thought. I just want to make sure because I mean, she had that stripper outfit on, but I guess she was smart enough. I guess she could have changed because the army guy was wearing a fucking toga for crying out loud.
Well, and I thought it was a little.
Yeah, it's a stupid movie, Rob, but it's really fun.
If you like Dawn of the Dead, you're gonna love this one.
If you like Dave Bautista being Dave Bautista, but then they also let him have a little bit of range, you're gonna like it.
Yeah.
If you like Tig Notaro,
Oh my God,
being being the tiggiest, you're gonna like it.
she was so great.
This brings up my question: how was the?
There were a couple parts where it looked
fake as
they
fuck.
They weren't quite. They didn't have enough time to finish. But other than that, for the most part, it was pretty well done.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, there were just a few like wide shots where you're like,
But for those unaware, Tig Notaro was replaced in, Tig Notaro replaced a different actor in post for the movie based on that actor's sexual allegations. We will not mention his name here because he doesn't deserve our attention.
Let's just say if you watch he's in season 2, and what he was accused of was his character in the show.
Yeah,
which is kind of funny.
I don't want.
But they had to digitally edit the film to replace him and put Tig Notaro in his spot. So I was wondering how the CGI was.
And I want to make sure I'm doing this right. Does Tig Notaro go by she or she?
They.
She's a they. Okay, that's what I thought. So I'm sorry that I said
no,
she.
they are a they.
I'm sorry that I said she earlier. I didn't mean to. So because I had to think about that one for a second. So yeah, no, I was great. Tig Notaro was fantastic in it. I didn't quite understand the whole like. At the end, not at the end, but when he's like, "Don't leave me," on the when they get on the helicopter to the roof, and then the very much alien-esque ending where, although without the platform was getting unstable, I had to. Why did she take off? Like it was just kind of like.
I mean, I get the self-preservation thing, but at the end,
hover above or something.
At the end, because I believe the character was a she. Was like, I had a change of heart. I decided to pick it up anyway. What really steamed me about that whole thing is when they're on their way to the casino. Like, they left from the roof of the casino to get to the other casino.
Right.
Where the zombie king was also on the roof. He beat them there when they were on a horseback.
Yeah.
And they were in a helicopter.
Yeah.
And as they were headed over to the other casino, they're like, how long do we have until the nuke goes off? 9 minutes. And then they proceed to do about 45 minutes of movie.
Yeah.
Like the whole thing, they had hours and hours.
Yeah.
And all they had to do to make me believe this was say 45 minutes.
Yeah.
An hour.
Right.
And the time frame would have been 100% believable. But 9 minutes?
Yeah.
Go fuck yourself.
Right.
That was the only thing that really made me go, no.
The only thing? The people being held captive by just in a room like with nobody really watching them? That kind of bugged me too. And then for her to go after them with a pistol?
Wasn't the door locked?
No.
Are you sure?
Yes. She just walked right in. There was no door. I don't think there was a door. They were just like on a floor somewhere there. I get it, like they can't go down because all the zombies are down there. Like I get like they can't go down, but
they probably assumed there were still zombies who would kill them if they left the room.
Probably. And then she goes after him with a pistol. I'm like, oh. And do you think that the fried bodies were a previous version of them?
No, I think that was just them
dude fucking.
Yeah, that was just them digging with us.
Right. And then I felt bad for the dude at the end. I wanted him to do so well.
I know, the spoilers. Well, you're not going to know what we're talking about because we're just going to call him the dude. But yeah, I thought that was unnecessary to make him bitten. But he also hadn't turned yet.
Right.
So I think maybe he's going to become maybe a half super zombie.
Maybe, but he was also on the plane he's like fuck, like he knows he's going to, because he was feeling shitty, and they're like you're kind of cold, your skin's cold.
Theoretically, he'll be an alpha, so he'll have some kind of brain.
Yeah. And then we didn't get any of the normal Zack Snyder end credits video of because I was expecting there would be a news story or something like in Army of the Dead or Dawn of the Dead, and he really loves to put his heroes in an elevator.
Sure does.
Yeah, with a weird song playing overhead.
Yeah, that's his thing.
Yeah. So, anyways,
it was very Zack Snyder-y, though very, very, very light on slow-mo.
Yeah, but I loved what I really did love, and normally this would probably bug me, but the out of focus and bringing people from a blurred vision, bringing them out of that blurred vision to like then you do the reveal from that. For some odd reason, they did it like 39,000 times in this movie. Did not bother me one bit. I actually I thought it was really creative, and I really liked it because I used it for different reveals of different types of characters, not just like one reveal for one type of character. So maybe that's why it didn't bug me, but I did like it. And so overall, I'd say go watch it. If you want to see a fun...
Yeah, it's long. It's fucking long as shit. It's 2.5 goddamn hours.
Yeah, it is.
It's super long. But I mean, it doesn't really feel like it.
No, and I enjoyed
and it's worth it for Valentine, Siegfried and Roy's Tiger.
Yeah, that's right. Yep.
You intrigued yet, Rob?
I've been over here playing on my phone while these guys talk about it.
Yeah, we've noticed.
We'll get you back.
I haven't seen it, and that's okay. I'm not good at zombie movies. I'm sorry.
But it's not like a zombie movie.
It's a Zack Snyder zombie movie, so I expected everything that I expected from Dawn of the Dead, or everything that I got from Dawn of the Dead, we got in this movie. Well, not really got, but that was my expectation going in. I got exactly what I wanted.
Sure.
Needed more Ving Rhames.
Yeah, I did.
I mean, most movies do.
That's true.
So if you liked Dawn of the Dead and you wanted to see a good zombie movie where a lot of zombies get fucking slaughtered, with a little bit of a heart-touching moment, not a love story, but a nice little story at the end, it's good. It's good. Dave Bautista does really well. I don't know why he doubts his acting ability, which he very much does in every interview he says.
Huh. Well, that's too bad.
Well, because he feels he started so late, and it's like people have told him.
Sure.
People have told him they're like plenty of people started way late in their career, and you're doing fine. And
he also didn't. He just doesn't consider his wrestling career to be part of acting.
Yeah, that's true.
And I get that. I do. Because when he thinks of acting as, serious acting.
Sure.
Where he's playing a character.
And there's a methodology.
Other than just an amped up version of himself, kicking people in the groin.
Right. Like especially starting out with Guardians of the Galaxy and looking at the names of caliber of people they have in that film, and he's got to stand up and act next to him. And I even told him when I met him, I'm like, dude, I don't know why you doubt your acting ability. I love your comedy timing is brilliant. I said it for what it's worth, and because who the fuck am I, right? But I just said I really appreciate. You're my favorite wrestler, but I appreciate you should give yourself more credit on your acting ability.
And I'm sad that this last foray is going to be his last
outing as Drax.
Yeah.
I
mean, I get it. He's like, I'm getting old. Stuff's going to start to sag soon. I want to go out on a high note.
Well, he's also said that he's leaving when James Gunn leaves. And James Gunn has said this is his last Guardians film. So
that's fine. Maybe he just wants to expand his range and doesn't want to play the same character all the time. And from what I understand, the makeup and him don't necessarily get along. And it's not his fault. It's just he has to wear a full body paint that just irritates his skin. And
like a full Tin Man situation here?
Yeah. So, yeah. So, and I get that. So, yeah. So go see Army of the Dead. Nerd Grabs? Yeah? Anything?
Yeah.
Anybody want? Should I start?
Go for it.
Go ahead.
So I got one of them sitting here.
You do?
I do.
It's true.
I got my wedge helmet.
You did?
The other day. And I feel, I love it. I like it. I think it's really cool. But I just feel this Black Series is getting...
They changed the manufacturer, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
But I think they're hit or miss with what they put out, even with like their lightsabers. Because like the helmet's great, looks great. Visor doesn't move, which sucks. Which is like all the other helmets they move. So I don't know why they chose this one not to move. The earpieces that go on that Velcro in by very little, very very tiny pieces of Velcro. You can't put your head in it if you put the earpieces on.
You can't put your head in it. I put it on earlier, and it was big on me. But I might have a small head.
And the way that this chin strap goes in there with the earpieces, it's like the earpieces have to either go over the chin strap or the chin strap has to go over the earpiece instead of being on like the bottom part. So I don't get what that is. But anyways, other than that, it's very cool. It looks great. It would look great, for anybody. It looks cool. It's very nice.
I do think
Scripters.
Yeah, right.
I do think it looks accurate to the movie.
Yeah.
I don't mean that as a positive.
Why not?
Because it looks like it's from the 80s. It looks like it's from the 70s.
Well,
And I don't know, maybe that isn't a positive or a negative. It's just it looks. I'm glad that they went with screen authentic. I kind of wish they had stylized it up a little and made it a little bit more modern. But that's just my personal aesthetic, and I kind of I like vintage stuff that has a timeless look to it, and this doesn't.
I don't like that I can see brushstrokes in it, but.
Well, you can see brushstrokes in the original. I like that it's authentic. I just wish it was a little more timeless and less stuck to the period in which it was made.
I guess.
But
it looks cool, and I mean, it was worth the money. It was like $80, $90, whatever it was.
Yeah, and I might be nitpicking too, so that's okay.
And the other thing, I finally pulled the trigger on after I got my tax return back, and actually. Yeah, I got my tax return back. I got a big chunk of money back from my tax returns. So there's something I've always wanted since I was a little child, since I saw a wonderful movie called Aliens back in the day. And I finally, there's pretty much the premier guy that if you want this particular prop made, you go to one guy. And he's out of Arizona, I want to say. You just go to spatcave.com and you can find it. But I bought a set of Colonial Marines armor. Movie accurate. I bought.
I thought you were going to say you got the pulse rifle finally.
No, I have that. That's downstairs.
Oh, that's right.
I've had that for a while.
Yeah.
And now it's just trying to figure out how to get the electronics and all the working parts into it.
Sure.
But yeah, I bought the full chest armor, a helmet, and the shin guards, and it was not cheap. But for the guy that's supposed to be top notch, and it's handmade, and it's painted. You can get it cheaper if you get either plain green or black. And I thought about that for a second. I'm like, I could just invent some character. But I'm like, why invent a character if what I want is from the movie? Then I should get the stuff from the movie.
Yeah.
So I paid the extra money and I got the paint job from the movie. So, and I got a little. I think I got a little. It was $25, but the little head mic thing that Hicks wore. If I don't want to wear the helmet because those are fucking hot as balls. Especially if you're
I'm very excited to see you cosplay this at some point.
Oh God, I'm going to.
I'm so excited.
I will absolutely wear this.
Yeah,
because it's a childhood dream, man. Fucking, and so I was like, you know what? I'm an adult. I'm gonna buy it. So that was a very expensive item. But the thing is that since it is handmade, and this guy is the only guy that makes them. It's a 6 month to a year wait. So, yeah, it might happen sooner. That just says what it says on the website. It could be sooner though. So, those are my nerd grabs that I got.
Cool,
nice.
Yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited for that armor, and I will absolutely cosplay it because I'm already putting all the stuff together. Yeah. Anybody else? Who's next?
Yeah,
I can go next. Actually.
Sure.
That's fine. So I also got my tax return back, and
did you buy Aliens armor too?
No, I bought. No, I'm a basic bitch. I bought a couple things because actually, just today, just this morning, as we're recording on Wednesday, my tax return from the federal came in.
Yay.
And so I bought a thick boy version of the smoker I already have.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Say more.
So it's a Dynaglow wide body.
You're a Dynaglow.
Yes, a Dynaglow wide body vertical offset smoker. And since I had the tax return, I spent a little more and got the cover with it as well. So it's got a cover now. And it's going to arrive Saturday.
Your thing is Sunday, isn't it?
One of the things is Sunday. The other thing is Saturday.
What?
So we're doing it on 2 separate days. We're doing the private thing on Saturday. And then the party on Sunday.
Man, you're going to get fucking slosh this weekend.
Yes. That's the plan.
Happy
but so
watch out for Joanna's shoes.
I hate you.
You love me.
I do love you. Anyways, so I bought that smoker. It's going to get here Saturday, and so I'm left with the quandary of when it comes in. Do I stay up late Saturday night building it so that it's ready to go and usable on Sunday.
In my opinion, was already yes.
Oh, was it? Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know if you mentioned that
did.
when we. Okay. So I'll probably do that because I'm stupid.
I mean, how long does it really take to put together? An hour?
I'm gonna have to be up at like 4 a.m. to start working on food.
Well, then get up early Saturday, so you go to bed early.
No. It gets here Saturday.
Well, maybe get up. Maybe it'll be there in the early morning. Something. It probably won't. It probably won't arrive till the afternoon. But
No. It says Saturday.
Even then,
by,
he also has stuff to do on Saturday.
Yeah, I have stuff. I'm a little busy on Saturday.
yeah, but you might. But if you're going to get drunk Saturday night, then you won't be able to put it together properly, anyways. So really, you're kind of fucked.
We'll see.
Well, how much bigger is it than the one you currently have?
It's like a double wide.
Oh.
It's like twice the width of the current one. I don't know if it's the same smoker box, though. It might be.
You know, my
Anyway.
personal opinion is I would say yes, but at the same time, since you haven't used it yet, and being the first run go would be when on that day, and you already have one that you know how to use and work, I would just use the one.
The thing is, it's the exact same brand as the one I currently have, just a little wider. So the only thing I'm going to have to look out for hot spots, and for the most part, I have a pretty good idea of where the hot spots and where the
You're a hot spot.
Yes, I am. Where the temperature fluctuations are going to be in this new one. Just have to, make sure I account for that
Right.
when I'm cooking. So I'm probably going to set that up on Sunday morning and get it going and have another smoker on hand. The other thing I bought today, though, which I'm very happy about because I finally bothered to get this. I'm just going to show that to Kevin there.
I can't see it.
Nice.
Yeah.
Atta boy.
Yeah. So for a very, very long time, now I used to be a cook, but I never actually owned my own set of knives.
That's big.
8 inches? It's not that big. Not for
It's big to some people.
Yeah.
The one time I do subtlety, then you have a problem with it.
No, I just like I was choosing to go with subtlety too, actually. But all right,
So 8 inches.
it's subtle. So I got a global a global chef's knife. The brand is Global. And I've wanted one for years. I really like their knives, and I finally got around to buying my own knife, and and it's shipping in soonish, hopefully.
Nice.
So that'll also be here Saturday, actually. That will not if I use that on Sunday, no one will touch it but me. Maybe Kevin.
Goddamn right.
Maybe Kevin, but only because I love you. And because I know what you're doing. And because I know you know what you're doing.
You're goddamn right.
Yeah.
So you mean you want to throw it into like the wooden fucking... No? Okay. Isn't that what you do with really expensive knives? I see it all the time in movies.
I mean, I would do it with mine, but mine's also really heavy duty.
You have a Woo stuff?
Duty. I mean, I do have a Woo stuff, but I wouldn't even do it with that one.
Yeah, I wouldn't do it with a Woo stuff either.
I'm talking about the new ones. I just got the big thick boys.
I'm a little...
Henkels?
I'll show you.
Oh, okay.
I'm a little jealous that you got a nice knife. I've always wanted to change up my kitchen knives, but I don't want to spend an exorbitant amount of money.
So I did. So what I did this past weekend too was I actually bought a stack of cheap $20 Farberware ones to use out in the yard at the outdoor grill because I'm not gonna. I was growing tired of taking the knives out of the kitchen.
Right.
So I just bought a cheap set for outdoors, and when they die, they die. I don't care.
Right.
But this Global is going to be my Global, my knife. And
Speaking of knives, here's a question: knife block or the magnets?
Magnets.
Okay.
Knife block dulls the blade faster.
And if you don't clean it as well as you think you did,
then you're getting
gets
bacteria in there. And and wood is porous, so you're just gonna.
What if it's a good wood? It might be rich. He's porous.
Oh.
His whole shtick was good. Like
somebody out there listening to this podcast laughed at that fucking joke, or were thinking the same thing.
They did not.
Thank you for that one person that laughed at that joke.
Thanks, Carl.
I laughed at your delivery because your delivery was on point. The joke itself was not good. However, your delivery of the
dad joke.
It was very, it's definitely a dad joke, but your delivery was on point for me. So I got a global. Oh, and I also bought Borderlands 3, which I haven't played yet. It's still downloading at home. So I'm going to see how that is tonight and see if my computer can run it.
There we go. Kevin?
So I got the Mass Effect Legendary Edition.
It's Kevin Rant time.
I also got the cache, which comes with like the N7 helmet and some like an N7 acceptance letter and posters and canvas and a bunch of shit.
Sure. Really quick.
Cool stuff.
Uh-huh.
Can this section be sponsored by Jaybird Wines?
Sure.
Kevin's Ranty Corner, now sponsored by Jaybird Wines.
I feel like Matt would appreciate that.
I feel like he would.
So I have a bone to pick with you fucking nerds.
While Kevin rants and raves about this awful thing he's about to say, enjoy it with a glass of Jaybird Wines, the finest mead in all of Minnesota.
I do have meat in the fridge. We should be drinking it. Anyways, continue.
So, Mass Effect was an amazing series of games. The first one was a little clunky, but it really got into its groove. But with the Legendary Edition, they update a lot of stuff with the first one and made it a little more, user friendly, a little bit more like the other two. But all I can think about is when Mass Effect Andromeda came out, and how everybody talked about when Mass Effect came out, how bad the glitches were. That it was unplayable because of all these fucking glitches. The game is shit. BioWare basically had to cancel all of their Mass Effect projects because this game got shit on so badly because of all of these glitches. You know what these glitches were? Textures would load weird sometimes. Sometimes a character would be floating, but then they'd correct themselves. All really inane shit. I've had more game-breaking glitches in this remaster of an old game that you people are calling the second coming of fucking Christ than I ever had in Mass Effect Andromeda. Fuck you. I have had this game quit on me 8 different times in one play setting where I did one fucking mission. 8 times. The game just fucking quit on me and I had to go fucking back in, sort of the beginning of a goddamn planet. It's nothing in comparison. I will never understand what the casual incel toxic gamer wants from a game company. I just won't. Is it because it wasn't Shepard that you didn't like it, and so you took something absolutely minute and decided to destroy the game for it? Because I'm sorry, Mass Effect Andromeda was really good. They took everything that was great about the originals and made it better. I could customize my fucking class, and I wasn't forced to be an adept who could only use fucking shit pistols. Except in the first one, the pistols were OP as shit. But fucking, I don't understand. Andromeda was so good, and it was better than a lot of you. And you don't deserve it, or its glory. God damn it. Anyway, I'm having fun playing Mass Effect. I just don't like the fact that it fucking quits on me all the time. I'm having a good time.
This segment of Kevin's Corner Rant brought to you by Jaybird Wines, the finest wine in Minnesota.
Finest mead.
Finest mead in Minnesota.
But yeah,
Minnesota?
So I'm still in the first one. Blake has platinumed all 3 already because he has no life and I have a job. But so I'm trying to platinum them myself, and I'm on my way to doing that. So that should be fun.
Cool.
But it's I'm getting a lot of the same joys I had the first time I played it.
Nice.
I'm really looking forward to getting to the second one because the first one, even though they fixed a lot, is still a little. Oh God, can we get to the point?
Sure.
Mm-hmm. But I'm also excited for my cache of junk, especially the helmet. But that I don't think is shipping for another few weeks, so we'll see. I'll get.
Oh, you got like an actual helmet. I thought it was like an in-game helmet.
It's that. It's a helmet that I can put on my face and has LEDs and shit.
Nice.
Mass Effect 2 has my favorite video game character in the last 15 years. The Elusive Man.
Oh, fuck Martin Sheen.
This is because it's Martin Sheen. I did forget to mention about this.
His character is such a bastard.
Yeah, I know.
I did forget to mention about this helmet. It does have, you can put batteries in it. It does make noises. I haven't done it yet, but you can set it to either Hoth or Yevon 4.
Nice.
So you can get the different sound effects from.
Cool.
Nick, we're on my thing now. You had your chance to talk about the Yevon 4. That's true. Option of your
your time's expired, man.
Sorry. You reminded me of the lights and the flash.
But I think I kind of want to get the global Santoku as well. Santoku, sorry.
You're talking about Knives Out. So Mass Effect.
Fucking with you, I'm sorry.
Anything else about Mass Effect?
So I think the reason why I'm also taking a little bit longer to beat it is because I'm also trying to play No Man's Sky.
Yeah.
Which was my savior game when I cut my thumb open because it was the only game gentle enough for me to really play and not like feel like my thumb was going to tear off. But they have a thing going on with Mass Effect where if you do the expedition that's going on right now, you can get Normandy as your fleet vessel.
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
So that's what I'm trying to do. And that is a limited time. Like I have like 5 days to finish it.
Oh, sure.
You can do it.
I know. I hope I can.
You can.
I also got Resident Evil 8, but I haven't really played much of it yet outside of the beginning.
Okay.
Because I actually just beat 7. Took me a while to finally dig in and do it, but
You did it. You done did
since
it.
these two are directly connected, I want to make sure I had all the story.
Oh, sure.
Makes sense. Yeah. Anything else? Sounds good.
No, that's it, man.
Yeah.
Just waiting for my new sword for this year to get here.
I want to see it now. You've got it all hyped up, and I want to see it, motherfucker.
It's so cool.
I bet. Yeah. I already emailed Heather and said, "Hey, guess what? Don't hate me, but I'm only available every other weekend and the last weekend."
Oh, you suck.
Although I will. You guys will have to tell me how do I have to apply for my 10th year fucking thing because I don't know how to
is
do
this
that.
your 10 year?
It is my 10 year.
We'll help you
You
out.
just get it.
So obviously, you guys have to.
Well, we've done it, yeah.
Yeah.
No, I mean, for the thing, you have to like be there so I can.
Yeah.
Oh.
We can do our little
Oh, no.
off to see the
Piece
wizard.
of shit.
Fine, Kevin, will you be there for me?
Absolutely,
And then-
I will,
Yes,
buddy.
of course I will too.
Will you be working Fest Friday?
Yeah.
I was hoping we could partner up again.
No, I'm sorry. I gotta work that day because long story short, vacation bids, and I only had 2 days I could take. I couldn't take an extra day. I know. I'm sorry.
But
I'm sorry.
but
you're already doing your thing.
but
I'm sorry.
yeah, no, Fest Friday.
But.
It was really fun. And
It was
I was
fun.
really looking forward to doing it this year,
I'm
but I
sorry.
guess not.
I'm sorry, buddy. I only had 2 more days left that I could bid off, and those I figured the weekend was more important because the last Sunday is the day that they do the thing. Or the last Saturday.
I think
one of
it's
those-
6th Sunday.
Is it the weekend before?
Yeah.
Well, I'll be there that weekend anyway, so
right.
fine.
Yeah, I know it's not last weekend. They've got a bunch of other shit they're doing that.
I'll be there
that
both
weekend,
weekends, so the
Okay.
second to last and last weekend.
Okay.
So either way, yeah, we'll
Good.
do it. Hopefully, if not, I'll just if you're not actually there to accept it, they still fucking give it to you.
Yeah.
Okay. That's an accomplishment for being there for 10 seasons. Just saying, 10 consecutive seasons.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you guys have already done it. I know.
Yeah, I get my 15 in 2 years. Well, I do, and I think you're more worthy of your tenure than I was.
I don't think it's worthy. Come on, we did the
I
stocks.
worked like twice 1 year.
No, that's right.
I just barely qualify for my 10 year. Just barely.
Well, I've been selling mead for the last 2. This will be my 3rd year selling mead. So.
Well, no, like it was the first year Kevin was manager at the stocks, and I felt really burnt out and hurt from some of the backdoor politics that had happened around all of that. And so I chose not to show up, and I showed up for him a couple times because he asked, and that was it. So I get the
remember that year.
Yeah, I barely get my 10 year.
I'll be honest with you. A lot of the shit from the stocks kind of all blurs together unless there's a very specific fucking moment, like our first Mormon show, the king, the town crier, and the prince that we put up there. That was my first year. Yeah, it was my first year because Jade was still there.
Yeah.
Obviously, our last shows of the seasons, especially the last few years, we had some pretty good end of the year shows.
Amanda
That we didn't know was Amanda in 2014. Yeah. And then other things that I remember that, unless there's like very specifically somebody there, I can't remember what year it was.
Sure.
Like making fun of that guy with the Subaru tattoo.
That's right. Oh my god.
That was 2015 because that was the year Izzy was supposed to keep me in track in case I went off the handle on somebody, and she was like borderline. She was like, I was about to like cut you off, but you cut yourself off.
Kevin's shining moment with a Belle cosplayer.
Oh yeah, that was fun.
This is good.
Yeah, that was good.
That's very good. Love that we got that on video. Did we do 2 takes of that?
The 2 spells I cast with the wand. Move your arm and Accio slut. One of the greatest moments of my entire life.
Yeah, those were fun. Those were fun. Actually, and then the one year that we did the like the guy that was in like full start, like they're trying to be like funny with like we're in Star Trek uniforms. We're going to try to ruin their show, and then we totally fucking schooled them, and then turned the show into a complete like Star Trek fucking.
Wasn't it? Did we do like a Virgin off or something?
We
like
did.
That?
Yeah. And then when I did the fleet the running down the deck, and then I changed it to Starfleet. I was like, that's pretty good. Anyways, we're just reminiscing now at this point.
This is probably, you can probably even cut most of that.
Yeah.
I was just talking.
3 old guys sitting at the bar telling how they used to be cool.
War stories. Back in Nam, stationed in Da Nang.
Back when the stocks had people on it. I don't think anybody on it.
Accio slut.
Anyways, anything else to... I think by the time this when this airs, my
Bad Batch sure is the A-Team in space. That's all I got.
Yeah, there is that. By the time this airs, the coming Saturday will be when the film festival, Z-Fest Film Festival. So tomorrow's being premiered at 9:00 at night. It's the very first one. I don't know if that's good or bad. But you look like you had a reaction to something.
I did, but we'll get to it.
The Z-Fest Film Festival?
Nope.
Oh.
Bad Batch?
Nope.
A fart.
Yes, a fart.
Yeah. So anyway, so I'm scared and excited and nervous and I don't know. Anyways, so so they're doing Friday and Saturday, the 4th and the 5th at 7:00 and 9:00. If you want to buy, you go to zfest.com. And there's tickets there. Again, ours is on the 5th at 9:00. It's the very first film. And also Nathan, I talked about this last time too, is Nathan Block is the guy his film is also at the 9:00 on the 5th. So anyways.
It's the Nathan Block.
It is the Nathan Block. It is.
No, that was good.
Like I said, I don't know if it's good or bad that our movie is first, but I hope I'm picturing it's like a speech. You know, they always say the most important parts are the first part and the last part because that's what people remember.
That's usually what you remember in auditions, too.
Right. So I'm hoping the same thing with the film festival, that the first and the last. Mine's first and Nathan's is last. So
Oh, yeah, good.
I hope that holds true. So anyways, that'll be it, I guess, for us. Then this has been Best Threesome Ever, episode 128.
We really like ending these ones on sort of a, okay.
It's a Minnesota ending.
Hold on. Hey, you got anything to plug for a Winners You?
Not yet.
Okay. Sorry. I just wanted to make sure we got that, though.
Oh, yeah.
In case there was something.
All right, so we can do this again because I cut the other part out. All right, this has been Best Threesome Ever. Third ending. Best Threesome Ever.
Want to try that one more time?
Let's go for number 4.
I was going to keep going. Number 4, Best Threesome Ever, episode 128. Brought to you by Heroic Goods and Games and Jaybird Wines. I'm Nick.
I'm Rob.
I'm Dust Rag Underwear.
And we will see you next time.
The views held here by the nerds of Best Threesome Ever do not directly reflect the views of nerds everywhere.